Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots, and today we're making a Dollar Tree 4th of July gnome. Go to your Dollar Tree, get all this stuff on sale, and if you'd like to make them with me, whoop, stick around. As always, please give that video a like so I know you're here crafting with me. Speaking of crafting, we're gonna make this guy 8 inches tall, no pattern needed, everything from the Dollar Tree except for the nose and the little hands. So I'm gonna use a scarf, a woman's sock, my clay nose and hands, and just this is a pillow, and this, the star of the show, is a balloon weight. So I'm going to use almost every single piece of this balloon weight. I'm going to cut off the bottom portion that was stuck into this puck. I don't know what this is, press board, broken pieces of press board. I don't know, but it's just a big heavy weight, and I'm going to use that for the weight in my sock gnome. Easy peasy, right? Once we get that tucked in, it kind of does stick, so just pull it all the way down and sort of flatten out the seam of the toe. And then these pillows are great if you can find them at your Dollar Tree. If you can't, Dollar General, sometimes like a Big Lots, sometimes Ross or whatever, but they have stuffing in them and they're ridiculously shaggy and fun. My daughter just absolutely loves them. So what I did is I'm gonna speed this part up. I just stuffed it as far as I could stuff it, making sure that when I squeezed it, it bounced back to its original position. Now, I know you can see through the sock, but we're going to cover up the entire sock, so it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm just going to use the twisty tie that was on the balloon weight, and yeah, because it was right there and I didn't have to go and get anything else. This whole thing will only take you 10, maybe 15 minutes to do. Most of what I'm showing you here is actual, this is the speed, like I didn't speed up anything except for the redundant stuff. All right, so I'm just gonna always secure a little bit of glue right there, so in case that tie comes undone, we can make sure fluff doesn't go everywhere. For the hat, I am using this. It's actually pretty. It's a Dollar Tree scarf, but it's super thin. And so I'm cutting it almost 11 inches by the entire width of the scarf. And that way I'm going to be able to double it over and still have left over for a hat, or I'm sorry, for the arms. So measure twice, cut once. So you can see here, just making sure that we do have a seam allowance because we're going to be able to, here we go again, measure again. We want to make sure we can be able to double this over and turn it outside right. So here I'm going to create about a 4.5 to 5 inch base, and that's going to help us because we're going to tuck it down over the top of the gnome. If you're using a sock gnome, this helps to give your hat a little bit of structure as well. All right, so again, I just have right sides together here, and I'm just going to glue this edge. So just FYI, if you have a Silpat mat, put it down because this is so thin, the hot glue can kind of go right through it if you press it. So I'm just not pressing really hard. I'm just barely touching it to the scarf. You see my awesome cutting job right there. Woo! All right, now that we have that, I'm gonna squish that together because it came apart. Okay, so now that we have that, we're just gonna fold it over. Now you can see me, I do this on some of my videos and I get asked a lot about it, but I just offset this. It's nothing new. It's the same as if you were to put just right side to right side and then edge glued. This is just me flipping it over because remember I had glued those two pieces together. So I just want to make sure I get all of the pieces so my hat doesn't come undone. That's all I'm doing here. I'm gonna do the last little bit here at the bottom. All right, so we're gonna set that aside for a second, and then we're gonna get the star of the show, which is this fuzzy, ridiculously fuzzy and completely shedding pillow. And I'm gonna show you, it's insane. But I've made other gnomes with these pillows before from the Dollar Tree, and this is just the way they are. Not really going to do much about it. So go get your lint roller. After you pull and pull and pull all of the cut edges, just do yourself a favor and go get your lint roller. Not only will you be able to clean up your space, but you'll also be able to get those things that you can't pull out. That lint roller will get them. But this stuff does go everywhere. But the good news is that once it's on, it doesn't shed just randomly. All right, so as you can see, I cut for the entire gnome, and I'm just lining up the bottom so it kind of splays out a little bit. But I will say that this stuff is so much fun. You have to jiggle it because look at it. Look at it. Isn't that fun? I'm just a kid. I get to play all day. Okay, so I'm putting a whole lot of hot glue. I mean, I don't really know of another way to do this. And we're just going to do that on the other side as well. Now, the top, you don't have to like press in and be secure. It's going to act as some fluffing, but the bottom, do go ahead and secure these pieces because you will be able to yank out all these fibers unless you have them secured here. Like I said, the top is going to be covered, so we don't have to worry about it. And you can see the top is what's shedding there, right? All right, so now that our hat has dried, we're just going to flip it out right sides out. And I'm using a little bamboo skewer to press the tip out and then just slip it on. And this is going to give us a great idea of where to place our nose and our arms. All right, so for a nose, I'm just using a clay round that I had made from polymer clay. You can use a pom-pom, you can use anything you can find, a bead, a wood round, a wood half round, whatever you'd like. Split the beard to the fabric backing and glue it then. I just scrunched down the hat and added a little bit of glue right on the nose before I tipped the hat over, and I secured it with glue. Wanted it to stay. Now this thing, I wanted to like have the little Gnome holding it, but it wasn't going in, so I'm just cutting a teeny tiny little bit of the fabric backing and then shoving it in there because it goes straight through the sock. So for the arms, I am going to just roll up this fabric. If you have the Dollar Tree foam hair rollers or curlers, I'm not really sure what they're officially called. I have some, but I didn't even think to get them out for this. But this, like I said, is super easy. All I'm doing is attaching, again, a double layer for this arm, and I'm going to double hem that open edge. And then that's going to act as my finished fancy seam. And so on the other side, I'm just going to roll it in on itself and then glue that down on that long edge. It's easy peasy, right? For the very end, I am going to tuck up the fabric before I put on the hands. I'm just cutting this because I made it quite long. So here I am just pushing in the fabric, and then I couldn't find 2 clay beads that were the same size, so I cut a clay bead. Yes, you can do it. No, I don't recommend it, but it fits perfectly, so I'm just saying. This is a Dollar Tree craft, right? We got to find and use what we've got. But Dollar Tree does sell pom-poms. They also sell like farmhousey stuff with those wood beads on it. Great to take apart. Okay, so I'm just making the second one as well. And if you also want, if you don't use your curlers, you can put a little tiny piece of 16, maybe 18 gauge wire in here, and you can have posable arms. Mine, however, are going to be glued down. So I'm doing it the exact same way, putting 2 layers together, securing one end, rolling up the other one, securing that down. And I had to get my skewer out to press in this end for his little hand. Attach that hand, and then just cut it to be the same size. And now I'm just going to press this up under here for just a second because I have to find that hole where I made in the beard, because I want him holding, I want him to have the appearance of holding this big firecracker thing. So I find it, I press it in, and then that gives me an idea of where to glue down my little gnome arm. I did actually glue the arm to the little Dollar Tree balloon thing, and that way I could put in this little clip. It's just a little clip that I wrote pop on. And then I glued the arm to the hat just like this on both sides. And that's it. And you're done. Literally, what is this, 10 minutes? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you being here. As always, please like and subscribe for more crafty fun.